We've entered an age where people no longer feel the need to hide views that were once seen as unacceptable, ideas that would have sounded outrageous a generation ago, like telling nurses they earn too much or suggesting banks deserve tax breaks while raking in billions. They're now said out loud in public without shame, and the most brazen example has just landed. The FT reported that the Barclays chief executive has warned the government not to raise taxes on banks in the autumn budget, and at the same time he's calling for public sector's workers to show restraint on wages. Let's pause on that. A man who personally took home more than £10 million last year is telling nurses, teachers and paramedics that they need to tighten their belts, and he's warning Rachel Reeves not to tax banks any more heavily. But Barclays reported profits of £8.1 billion for 2024, up 24% from £6.6 billion a year earlier. It's the sheer brazenness of it that's shocking. Workers who've seen their real pay eroded for over a decade are told that they're the problem. Public sector pay increases have averaged at 5.7% over the past year. And while it's true that this is more than the current inflation rate of 3.8%, they're catching up for years of pay erosion and catching up with the cost of living crisis of the past 5 years. Meanwhile, banks are supposedly at breaking point, but their profits have been fueled by higher interest rates and their shares have skyrocketed. Barclays shares have increased 75% over the past year. Bank shares are at record levels since 2008. And the threat is always the same. If you tax us more, we'll leave. That's not economics, that's blackmail. Banks know that they have a tight grip on governments. They know that every finance minister is terrified of capital flight, of losing the big institutions that dominate global markets. But let's not forget, it's the banking system itself that crashed the economy in 2008. And the banks were rescued with taxpayer money. The public saved them. Now, when the public sector is crumbling, they say it's workers who need to sacrifice. This is an economy that doesn't even bother to hide its inequality anymore. One system for the haves, another for the have-nots. And yet, this logic still carries weight inside government. The Chancellor, Rachel Reeves, herself has echoed parts of the argument, telling ministers to resist public sector wage demands. It shows how far politics have been bent around the needs of finance. This isn't about economics in any neutral scientific sense. It's about power. And once again, the people with the least are being lined up to lose the most. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. I'd be very grateful for that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.